Hello, I'm Vinita. As a student of class 12th, you must be wondering how to score better in English examination. How to prepare for exams is a big question that you always ask yourself. Need not worry, we'll take the topics of class 12th English one by one. Today we'll cover the topic of reading comprehension. Now, the question is, what is comprehension? Comprehension means understanding or interpretation of a topic. Interpretation, that is, to find out the meanings of the thing or to draw a conclusion. In class 12th, your paper is English code and the code is 301. First, we'll go through section A, in which part 1 is your reading comprehension. This reading comprehension is of 12 marks. One unseen passage with a variety of objective type questions, including multiple choice questions, short answer questions, to test comprehension, interpretation, and inference. Vocabulary such as word formation and inference of meaning will also be tested. What is this inference? Inference is to reach a conclusion on the basis of evidence and reasoning. So it will be tested when you'll answer your short answer type questions. These questions are basically of 30 to 40 words. The total length of the passage will be between 800 to 900 words. There will be 5 multiple choice questions and 7 objective type questions from this passage. Completely, it will be 12 marks. Now, the passages can be of 3 types. First type of passage is factual passage. Example, instructions, descriptions, reports, like in which, and it is very sequential and logical arguments are given there. Descriptive passages involve opinion. It is argumentative, persuasive, or interpretative text. This passage is little difficult than the factual one. Literary passage, it can be extract from fiction, drama, poetry, essay, or any biography, where you have to answer according to their topics. Now, to test 3 essential tasks, the passage is given to you. First thing is to read the passage carefully and to understand the general theme. So you have to go through the passage carefully, and what is the theme of the passage, you have to understand that. Then to note or to infer. Infer, I told you earlier, also to conclude something from the evidence given in the passage. So you have to note it down, the specific meaning or content of what you have read. So that you have to keep in mind. To demonstrate the above skills by expressing yourself accurately in response to questions based on the passage. So another thing which is essential, the task given to you through this passage is to demonstrate the above skill by expressing yourself. The way you write the answer, your response to the question will be tested. Now, how your answers are assessed. The understanding in the comprehension exercise is two-sided. You must understand the passage and other people must understand what you write. So it is two-way. Whatever, first thing is you should understand the comprehension, what is there in the passage. And secondly, whatever answers you are giving to the questions, that should be understood by the evaluator. The comprehension passage should be attempted with great care and logical precision. Now, what is this logical precision? We'll talk later about it. It is no good looking at the questions first and then trying to spot the relevant sections in the passage. This can lead to waste of time and misinterpretation of vital statements. So, I would suggest that you should not see the questions first. It is better to read the whole passage at one go. The passage first must be considered as a whole so that you can identify the overall theme and appreciate the way in which the author has structured the content. So you must appreciate the way he has written. It will always be in sequence. So you have to keep this thing in your mind. Now, few guidelines how to deal with the passage. Read the title of the passage if given for a possible clue about its theme. If the title is given, most probably the theme of the passage you would understand. Concentrate on the main facts. Whatever main facts are there, look for signal words such as versus, pros and cons, therefore, consequently, which tells about both sides of an argument, causes, results, and effects. So you have to go through these words and underline them lightly. Find out the main aim of the writer, why he has written this passage. He may be ironic or satirical at times. It is not that always the literal meaning you have to take it out. Sometimes it is ironic and satirical also, where indirect meaning you have to find it out and then interpret the question correctly. Now, how to write the answers? Answer the question in the same tense in which the question is put. If you follow these guidelines, these tips for writing the answers, your answers would be more accurate and precise. So whatever tense the question is asked in, you have to answer the questions in the same tense. Be brief and to the point. Don't write a page answer in 30 to 40 words. So it is not always good to write more than it is asked. Adhere to the word limit. Write in simple, correct sentences. So simple but correct sentences it should be. It is not that always you have to write the long sentences. Make it simple, short but correct. Avoid lifting the matter from the given passage. It is not that you can, whatever is asked in the question, you give your own opinions. It is not always asked. So you adhere or you avoid these things and strictly adhere to the passage. Use indirect form of speech. Don't use the direct form of speech in the answers. Whenever why question is given, it requires reason. So use because, as, for, etc., which you have been using earlier also. The purpose question requires pinpointing the purpose of motive behind an action. So you can use the words like so that, in order to, so as to. So whenever purpose question is asked, you have to use these phrases. Inference questions, where you have to draw the conclusion based on the evidence. So it requires making a deduction of drawing a conclusion. You have to go through all the events and then draw the conclusion. Interpretative questions, they require explaining something. Whatever term is given, you have to explain that. It can be a word, it can be a phrase, or any other idea. Now, MCQ, this is the toughest part of your questions. Why? Because you have to thoroughly go through the passage to write the correct answer. It requires complete comprehension of all the points and in order to choose the correct option out of the given options. Now, questions related to facts, figures, causes, effects, results, features or aspects, conditions, purpose, aim, places, events, opinions, arguments, etc. These kind of questions could also be given, which you have to deal it accordingly. Quickly, let's recapitulate what all things you have to keep in mind while attending the passage. Go through the passage carefully and arrive at the general idea of the subject the passage presents. So this is very important. It is known as skimming. When you get the first 15 minutes of your exam, in those first 15 minutes, you can go through the passage and go through the questions which follows. You do not have to waste the time in reading the whole question paper because a lot of time is consumed later in reading the passage. It is better to utilize these 15 minutes in reading this passage and interpreting. Read the second time to get a better understanding of the passage. So in 15 minutes, you can do both the things, skimming as well as scanning. Arrive at the meaning of difficult words by relating them to the preceding and following sentences. So sometimes the antonym, synonym, similar word meaning, see these things are given where the words are difficult and you haven't gone through those words, they are new to you. But then use your brains and you have to relate them to the preceding, the sentence which is before that, and the sentence following sentence, that is the sentence which is after that. So when you will connect both the things, you will get an idea of the meaning of the word. Underline relevant words and phrases of the passages. So you have to underline. I know it is not allowed to use the pencil on your question paper, then but then you can use or you can slightly underline or pinpoint that particular word or passage, so that later on when you go through it, it becomes easy very lightly, so that the examiner does not notice it, which can help you deduce the answers. So which can later on help you to write the answers. Read the questions carefully. It is very important to understand the question before answering it. So you have to read the questions very carefully, that what actually is asked in the question. Answer precisely using simple language. So precisely to the point in minimum words, it should be answered in simple language. Then answers should reveal your understanding of the passage. It is not that from this part to this part you have written from the passage. It should show that you have understood the passage. If you are asked to provide a suitable title or heading of the passage, remember the title is hidden in either in the beginning or ending of the passage. So where are you going to find the title? In the beginning passage or at the ending of the passage. Title should relate to the main idea of the passage and should be brief. So it should relate to the main idea of the passage and it should be very brief, not a long two-line title. It should be very small, brief. As I told you earlier, also use a pencil. You might not find the right answer or might not be sure of your selection in the first go itself. You might feel that this is the correct answer, but you are not sure. So at that time, what you can do, you can either make a small bracket which is not visible, lightly you can make, so that later you can refer, or either you can write the number of the question. Like if it is the answer of the first question, then write small one over there so that you understand that it is the answer. So you can underline the part where you think the answer might lie. This will help save time the next time you look for the same answer to confirm it. The section A is indeed tricky part of the whole paper, where you can find multiple answers that seem right. So many answers, you'll feel like this answer is also correct. In the second paragraph which is given, that is also correct. So it can be frightening at times. So you have to, the whatever the writer has written, the passage is always given in sequence. So whatever questions are given, they are almost in sequence. The first question answer will most probably in the first paragraph or at the beginning of the second paragraph. Same would be there. The second question would be in second paragraph as well as the beginning of the third paragraph. So you have to keep this in mind, that whatever questions are given to you, they are given in sequence and you have to follow that sequence to find your correct answer. In case of multiple choice question, if you think there are multiple right questions, right choices, you can say, what you can do is cross off the one which you think is not going to be the answer for sure. So for making it more correct, what you can do, you first cross out the answers which cannot be the option at all. So once you'll cross, you have less number of choices, and in that probably you can guess the correct answer. It helps reduce the probability of you going wrong. So once if you have crossed out the wrong ones which you feel it cannot be the answer at all, then you will have less choices and it can be easy and more precise to answer your question. And in case you can't find the answer, just write down the few lines that have some common words with the question. You won't regret it. Finally, in the end, if you feel that no, nothing can be done now, I don't know this answer, I'm not getting the question itself, what should I do now? So there you have to guess the answer, right? So in that case, what you do, you just see the words in the question and find out in the passage where those words are there. So you can write the few lines that have common words to the question, and it is quite possible that 50%, 70% marks you will get in that question. And that is also not bad, isn't it? So you must not leave any question vacant. You have to attempt all the questions. That's all for today's lesson. So I hope reading comprehension is clear to you. Thank you. Stay safe. Now, pause कर रखी है.